Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Court Farms Country Park, and this is episode 30 of the Let's Play series. So as always, I hope you're all doing well and having a nice day. Well, I decided it was about time we've had another little bit of a very small, minor-ish expansion. So, as I mentioned in the last episode, I was very keen to get on top of the manure and the slurry management of the farm, because obviously the slurry tank over there was completely full at 100%, and we obviously had a massive mountain of manure in the shed there that I just kept on tipping to when I was mucking out the cows. So I've decided, for the very first time ever in my history of playing this game, I've got myself a loan. So what did I buy? So first of all, as you can see, we have this really quite authentic and very quite nice looking slurry tanker. Now this is attached kind of to the cows, so essentially now if I pop into the menus, there we are there, the slurry, as you can see there on the right hand side, is no longer red at 100% full. We have just under 100,000 litres, but we're nowhere near full, so this acts as a bit of an extension to it, which is brilliant. So that's excellent. So essentially the cows will carry on producing slurry until the whole thing's filled up, and I think that is 500,000 litres, I think. So so we're all right with that. But yes, so what did I do loan-wise? Okay, so I thought again I'd try and do it even remotely properly. I downloaded the enhanced loan system mod, so if I did get a loan, I'd at least be paying a little bit of interest and keep it feeling a little bit more realistic. So I got a loan for £70,000 over 3 years. That's gonna create for us a monthly payment of £2,082, and in total we're going to be paying off in total £73,782. We're essentially paying £3,782 for the privilege of the loan. So from that £70,000, I spent £11,000 on this slurry extension tank. I spent £24,000 on this lovely shed, another one of Lancy Boy's wonderful sheds. I figured I'd get this shed because I needed to think a bit more about my bale management as well, because I've now got a huge amount of bales. So I figured I'd create another shed on the farm, put up a few more tools in. I can stick a few bales in here if I wanted to. I can mix things around, but it frees up this little area under the canopy for some bales. And it also frees up what was the original bale shed over here on the left. So I've put in here so far just the hay bales that we've got, because I plan on making some more hay, and obviously the trailers in there as well. And what I've done I've not really done anything in here apart from just shift a few straw bales around, because we've got quite a few of those. So that at the minute, obviously, this is just the straw and the silage bale shed. We have a few more. We've got 2 more fields with loose straw in to get picked up, and I'm thinking, for the sake of getting a bit of money back into the bank, I think I might just call it quits for baling up for now and keeping hold of the bales, as it were, and I will sell them essentially. But yeah, but I have been quite busy these last few hours just getting it ready for this episode. We've also placed down this manure bunker. Now this bunker has a capacity of, if I bring up the menus, it has a capacity of 4 million litres, and it is connected to the home farm cow pasture here. So, and I have tested it, it does work. What I kind of did was, so I didn't mess this save up, I made a copy of this save, essentially, and then came into it and started mucking around in it I did it for the last couple of days, essentially, just testing things out. Now, I know the position of it isn't 100% great. Obviously, we all know when it comes to placing bunkers down, you can only place them in one of 4 orientations, essentially. So this was the best one I could find that felt right, essentially, just tucking it into this corner here. Yeah, it's close enough to the pasture so that it's recognised. So essentially, the cows' manure, they do still put manure into that shed that is going to be for me to muck out, but when that gets full, it then automatically starts coming into here. So essentially what I can do for the sake of making it look even the slightest bit real, I can muck out the cows still with the telehandler and the shovel and stick it in here if I wanted to, or I could just leave it be, let that mound of manure build up in the cow shed, and then after that it will just carry on filling up in here. But either way, what it does mean is that I have got rid of the great big pile that was in here. There we go, all nice and clean and empty now. Now I did all this, I picked it up with the telehandler and the shovel, and the bucket, sorry, and tipped it all into the manure bunker over there. So yeah, it's all good. Quite happy with that, to be honest. But I did, I placed down a few trees just for decorational purposes, because it as I say, because of the angle of this manure bunker, it did just feel... It looked alright, don't get me wrong, it's not too bad. But yeah, I just figured a couple of trees might just make it look a bit more au naturel. And another good thing about this bunker is it has a fill point, or a tip point, sorry, or a fill point, whichever you call it. So I can pull up to here in the manure spreader, and it will auto fill. So that's quite helpful. So I have done a bit more landscaping around here. Now this, obviously, over the episodes since the start of this series, this has kind of been the sacrificial field, hasn't it? It started off much bigger, placed the shed down, and it took away a little bit of the field, and then, you know, it's kind of getting smaller and smaller. But I've only taken away what I felt was just enough. So it is still a field. It's still got a decent amount of land to it, of arable land to it, so we're still going to be planting in here. But what I do plan on doing, I think I'm going to be putting this back to grass. I think that's what I plan on doing, because I'm going to have this as my hayfield. Essentially, we're going to have obviously we've got the big grass field over here on the other side of that hedge. That's the silage field, the slurry, the silage field, and this will be the hayfield. Now I did bale up all the straw that was in here before, because as anyone knows, when you landscape anything that's got loose product in the field, whether it's grass or hay or straw, if you landscape over that with the painting tools, it just removes the straw or the grass or the hay. So I ran the baler, picked everything up, and we've got 14 bales, is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, we've got 14 straw bales here ready to be picked up. What I think I might do, I might stick these ones in the shed there, and we've got the big oat field over here that's full of straw that needs to be emptied. So I think we'll bale this lot up and just fire it off to be sold and make a few quid back from it. We're definitely not going to have enough room to store all these as bales, and in reality, I really don't feel I need to. We've got such a backlog of straw bales now that I think I can afford to just let this lot go and get a couple of quid back into the bank. So yeah, that's that. I do hope you like how I've done it, in a way. I appreciate the slurry tank here is obviously it's quite far away from the cow pasture, and you know, but it was quite difficult to get it placed and make it look even remotely okay. So I kind of thought there looked about right. Do you agree? I don't know. It kind of looks okay, I think. I did toy with the idea of placing one of the base game ones down, like the concrete ones that are quite low and just got like a mesh fence around the outside, but when I found this mod, I just thought it looks perfect. It really does. You can't really interact with it, you can't pull up and fill from it. Essentially, it is just a decorative thing that acts as a slurry tank extension. So as I showed you from the menus before, it just adds an extension to this tank. So essentially, we still fill from here. So yeah, that's that. So I hope you like the. I suppose this is our second small expansion, isn't it? But yeah, quite happy with it, if I'm honest. Really quite happy with it. We've got this. I've left this bit of land here, this bit of grass for accessing this field. This is now the access point for this field where the auto drive network comes. It kind of comes down here and round here. This is now where vehicles will come if I send them on auto drive to. This is called Home Farm Field 1. So there's that. And also from the loan, I also purchased the new manure spreader, the Roland, that I was interested in getting in the last episode. So I'll just take a quick jog down here and show you that. Now I'll explain that in a minute. Yeah. So yeah, there's our manure spreader. And the keen-eyed viewers of you will know that, yes, this is the slurry spreader that we had before, but this technically is a new one. While I was in the shop looking at this thing, I noticed that in the sales section, the bigger brother of this, the one with the 3 axles, that was on sale for about, I think it was about 10 or 15% off. It was essentially just north of 20,000 quid. And I thought, you know what? While I'm doing it, I could afford to do it. This thing was worth about, well, the original one was worth about 14.5 grand. So I sold that, bought the bigger brother of it, and realised afterwards, my mistake, that it doesn't actually spread itself. You need to attach one of the big spreader systems to the back of it, and that was an extra. Obviously, one of those wasn't on sale, and the cheapest one of those was about 25,000 quid. So yeah, I had to undo all that. So I sold that and repurchased this one essentially. So I might have lost a couple of quid in the process of that, but hey ho, my own mistake, without thinking about things properly. So yeah, that's essentially hopefully a relatively quick rundown of what I've been up to these last few hours on the save. I do hope you like and appreciate the expansion that we've done. We've got a new shed, we've got a new manure spreader. Yeah, and it's all good, I think. Manure managed, as it were. So, what are we doing today? Well, I need to get that straw out the field, out the oat field. We're still in the same month as the last episode I was in. We're still at the end of July, so I think I'm going to use my time wisely. For the end of this month, we're going to get the straw picked out of this field, and there's another field over there, the one that's next to the oil tunnels, that is still laden with straw. So we need to get all that picked up, loaded up onto the trailer, and sent off to a sell point just to get rid of, essentially, just to make some money, get a few more quid back into the bank. Then there's a few fields that essentially it's back to the prep again. Before the harvest of this, which I think will be next month, that's going to be the next harvest. Essentially, the field beans are a couple of months off. This will be ready to go, no doubt, next month. Maybe, in fact, no, this will be. It might be early next month, or it might be the month after. It depends on when the second growth stage appears, doesn't it? But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We're still going to be busy. We've got plenty to do in between then. So yeah, we've got, like I say, it's essentially field prep. We need to get the straw out the fields, and we need to get mulching, get everything prepped and ready for re-drilling. I'm pretty sure this field I can mulch and deal with this one and get grass planted. I think. Let me just have a quick check in the growth calendar, crop calendar. Where are we? Grass. Yes, yeah, of course, we're still well within the season for planting grass, so we can get that done. So yeah, right. So I'm going to go and grab a couple of bits of equipment, and then I'm going to get started on baling up some of this straw. Righto, let's get hooked up to the baler. We've got the Renault hooked up to the bale trailer, waiting at the edge of the field, and I'm going to run this on the combine harvester's course play, so it'll run around and pick up most of the straw, I'm pretty sure. And while this is doing that, I'm going to jump into the telehandler. I'm going to get those loose bales picked up out of that field down at the bottom there, and just get them cleared, put them in the shed, and then all of this lot will be sold. I'm not going to bother with the bale trailer for that. I'll just do them 2 at a time. It won't take long. Right, so I shall pick you all back up in a wee while when this job is done. One field down, one to go. We've got 48 bales off this field, so I'm pretty chuffed with that one. And another fortunate thing, Valley View Bales, our sell point that's just around the corner of the farm, they're the ones who are paying top dollar for straw right now, so haven't even got to travel far. So let's get this field and the next one fully done, fully loaded up onto this trailer bit by bit, and we'll get everything sent over there, and I will pick you all back up when everything has been sold, and I'll tell you how much we made from it. Right, here's the last couple from the smaller field here, field 91 I think it is. So all in all, between the two fields, we had 48 bales off the big field, and we've had 22 bales off here. So 48, 58, 68, 70 bales. That's not bad. And so far, we've got 8 left on here. We have made, from selling them just around the corner there at Valley View Bales, we have made a total of £17,214. So we're going to get this lot strapped on. There we go. Jump in. And let's run these round. See what we get for this this 8 bales here. That'll add on to the 17,200. Let's try and squeeze myself out of here. Ooh, that's going to be a bit tight, isn't it? Yeah, that's not going to work. Let's try that again, shall we? Take a bit of a wider circle. That's better. There we go. Right, I'll see you around there in a second. Right, here we are, on strap. 2,084 plus 201, so 2,285. 17, 18, 19,400. 19.5 grand, pretty much, give or take a pound or two. Excellent stuff. So we're sitting at £40,611. That's really quite good. I'm happy with that. A handful of straw bales. That will do for me. So, let's get this back to the yard. We'll wander around, pick up the telehandle and get that back into the yard. That needs fueling up as well because it's quite empty. And then, I think, what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on what will now be another grass field. This one here on the left-hand side. There we go, yeah. Yeah, we're going to turn this back to grass. This is going to be the hayfield, as I mentioned before. So we need to mulch it, we need to coat it in lime, we need to drill it, and we need to fertilise it. So, let's go back and get the telehandler, get that back into the yard. We're at 3:30 now in the afternoon, so we've still got a decent amount of time. Obviously, with it being July, the days are longer. So, yeah. Oh, and I did have a very decent suggestion from one of you wonderful viewers regarding feeding these chickens. Now, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, but because I don't like reversing a big tractor and trailer over a pile of chickens that are happily running around and feeding them, there's the in the LSFM pack there's a wheelbarrow. I do have it. I do have the mod. I don't think I've got it installed on the game at the minute, so I will get that installed and put into the game. But yeah, I think I should be able to just run a wheelbarrow from here to there a handful of times and just fill them up by hand. So again, it adds to a little bit of realism, I suppose, and the fact that I'm not, as I said before, I'm not driving over my chickens. So I think I might get that one installed. So yeah, I think I'll get that one done. Right, but I shall, as I say, I'm going to go back and pick up the telehandler here, get it back into the yard, and we'll get something. We'll get the mulcher hitched up to a tractor. And I think I may well throw the mulching, the liming, and the drilling of that grass field into a little cinematic. See if I can put something like that together. So I'll pick you all back up in a wee while when we're a bit further on. Right, all done. That was excellent. Really happy that I purchased this manure spreader. This worked an absolute treat. Like my number plate. But yeah, it's done an excellent job. The numbers are all absolutely perfect as they should be now in this field, in our new field of grass. This is going to be, obviously, as I said before, this is going to be the hay field. At least for the near future anyway. So yeah, right. So I think the time of day that it is now, 5 o'clock, end of July essentially. So I think I've got all I can get done today done. So I'm going to pack everything away. And then, oh, there's that bug again. I've got out the tractor and I'm still in the tractor. It only seems to occur with particular tractors, I think, as well. It has worked. It has done this on other maps as well, so it's not that it matters at all. But hey ho. Right. So as I say, yeah, I'm going to get everything tidied away and go to sleep till tomorrow, essentially. And I think tomorrow we're back to the drilling. We're going to get some canola down in the bottom field there, field 109, and get that done. So, see you shortly. Morning all. 1st of August. But as every day, first thing we've got to do, top up the cows with a bit of food and a bit of straw. So I'm going to jump in the 7810, get that done, get some loose straw tipped into their barn. And we'll jump on the feed mixer and get some food sorted. So, I'll join you back there in a minute. Right, let's get this straw sorted, shall we? Where's the trigger point? There we are. I'm pretty sure they'll take all of this. I think. Oh, surprising. Thought they'd take the whole thing. Fair enough, okay. Won't complain at that. Oh, goodness me. Shocking reversing skills there, FARMERSIM. Let's just make it easy, shall we? So we'll get this put away. Go up to the feed mixer. Get some food sorted for them. And I'll pick you back up when that's done. And then I think it's canola drilling time down in the bottom field. Right, feed mix prepared. Let's get it tipped in here, shall we? There's about right. I think total mixed ration is not accepted here. Maybe it's accepted there, though, isn't it? And that's better. Let's have a quick jump into the menus and see where we're up to with the numbers wise. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think this one will sort them out for now. So, what else we need to do? We need to get the seeder hooked up to the Fent, I think. It's quite a dull, dark grey day here today. I think it's due to rain in the next hour or so as well. Hopefully we're getting this done ASAP. Might need to load up with a little bit more seed, actually, thinking about it. There is something left in the hopper. I think we do have at least a bit of a bag on the shelves. Let's go and have a quick check, actually. Oh yeah, we've got a couple of bags. Enough to see us through the job today, I think. Not done myself any favours there, have I? Leaving in the telehandler in the way. That'll probably do the trick. Yeah. PTO cables. Lift up. There we go. Right, what we like for levels in this thing. 50%, and we want canola. There we go. Let's see if I can just get ourselves out of that little space there. Let's reverse up near the shelf. We should be able to refill, I hope. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Just make life easy for me for now. 100%. Excellent stuff. Right. Oh, goodness me. We got some weeds growing. I'm going to need to run the weeder in that, aren't I? Although it's not actually telling me what to run it for. Funnily enough, I had a little bit of a discrepancy with weeds earlier in the previous work day when I was planting the grass here. From the second we harvested, it was saying weeds were growing. And so obviously I mulched, it still said weeds were growing. We ran the seeder, it still said weeds were growing. We ran the roller, and then the weeds disappeared after that. So it's a bit strange. I wasn't expecting the weeds to disappear after a roller. I know a roller can get rid of stones in a field if they're small enough, but I didn't think the roller did anything to weeds, so I was a bit confused. But as you can see, no weed message for this one. At one point it did actually say weeds, sorry, and to use herbicide to get rid of them. So I was actually planning on getting hold of a small weed sprayer. I think I might actually have to do that here, mightn't I? Oh, right. Well, that's a disappointment. I thought I was on top of this. Right, okay. Oh, well, it is what it is. In fact, now that we're on just under 54 grand. And that was another funny thing, actually, that just popped up. As I woke up on the 1st of August this morning, I had a load of animals sell. It didn't tell me what they were, whether they were cows or sheep. To be fair, I got a couple of £1,000 for it. I think we'd finished last day on just over 40 grand, I think, and now we're at 53. So we got some income from the milk, but I also got some money back. I think it was about £3,000 or £4,000 in total from sold animals. So that was it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm not too sure how to, because when I go into the animal settings here and look at the options at the bottom there, allow overcrowding, restrict automatic reproduction. They do say selling underneath, and if any of you who are way more up to speed with the this animal mod, I don't know of any way I can change that from selling. You know, it's like a production system where you can change from selling to distributing or storing or whatever. But yeah, they're just, when they get to their ideal age, do they sell automatically? Please let me know if you know more than I. Anyway, right. So how am I going to combat these weeds now? It just says small. So do I try? Do you know what? Before we do anything, let's just turn that off. We did just turn it off. Turn off. Thank you. Let's get into the massey. We'll attach the weeder. Because if we can get rid of them mechanically without spraying any chemicals on the field, I'd much prefer to do it that way. This might, if this does work, then I'll be doing this first before we run the drill. There we go. Lift up. Right. Let's go see if this has any effect, shall we? Right, let's see what this does, if anything. Nothing. Okay. Right. Well, it is a weeder. Okay, right. Maybe I am going to have to make that purchase of a herbicide spreader after all. Okay. Suppose it'd be handy to have around just in case. Anyway, so it's only a cheap one. It is a very cheap one, in fact. Let's just turn that off for now. Jump into the shop and I'll show you which one I had my eyes on. Sprayers. I'm sure you've all seen this one before. It's this John Deere thing. Just under six grand. Got a decent working width, 9 meters. Yeah, it's seems like a good idea just to have about, just in case we need it. It's only got 1,000 litre capacity, but that should go pretty far, I think. Right, so yeah, let me just tidy all this lot away now. Again, I don't need this after all. I'll make that purchase. We'll buy ourselves some herbicide. I hope it's going to do something, but we'll see. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Well, that was a complete waste. I mean, I'm going to keep it I'm going to keep it now anyway, just in case. It was only cheap. It was only just over 5 grand, I think. So may as well have it around the farm just in case. And maybe if there's any contracts in the future, we can use it for that. But it did absolutely nothing. Didn't get rid of these weeds at all. There's no direction for me in the blue text there to say whether to get rid of it with a weeder or a hoe or with herbicide or anything. But I figured because they are visible, they'd go, but they don't. But I can just drill over them with the seeder. I know that works because I've just tried a tiny patch in the bottom corner of the field there, and it just seems to work. That seems to work absolutely fine. Anyway, so I think we'll just do that. We'll drill over them. So I'm going to pop this little snippet of video into a bit of a montage as well. Get this field drilled with canola. So I shall see you all very soon. Right, there we go, all done. It has obviously started raining, as you can see. Let's just jump out very quickly. So yeah, the field needs rolling as we'd expect, but now it says the weeds are growing and I need a weeder to remove them, even though I've got rid of the visible weeds that were right there, so that's a little bit confusing with that one. I've not really encountered that one before. But hey ho, it is what it is. At least the field looks a bit neater, but all the other fields that haven't been mulched yet, they've all got weeds growing in them, so I might take the approach and just give them all a good cultivating, get a bit of tillage ran, use our relatively new cultivator. Give that a running. I'm sure that'll dig them under the ground and get rid of them. But yeah, this weather's miserable. So I think I'm going to call it here for this video, everybody. I think it's about time now, about the right kind of time length for this video. I think the weather's deciding that for us as well, isn't it? There we go. Let's get out of this rain. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really hope you've enjoyed the video, found it a bit of fun and interesting. If you're new to the channel and you like my stuff, you like my content, you like the way I do things, if you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button, giving the video a like, and leaving me some comments if you've got any suggestions for me. All of these things go a long way to helping the channel. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If any of you are in the market for any of the game's add-on packs or DLCs, or even the game itself, or any of the season passes, there'll be links in the video description below highlighting my promo code. So if you fancy helping out a content creator, I would be, as always, hugely appreciative. So thanks again, everyone, and I shall see you in the next video.